My name's Nathan. This is my wife, Jackie.
Hello.
So Father Tirso asked us to do a little interview for the reopening of St. Julie's. And he gave us a handful of questions. Maybe some of these are thoughts that you might have had over the last year plus during the pandemic, and the attempts and the struggles of going to Mass or not being able to go to Mass. Or maybe these are questions that you kind of would like to see answered from real live people.
Definitely continue to take advantage of watching the Masses on either live stream or the pre-recording Masses, and trying to always do that together as a family, even with our daughter who's not even 2 yet at the time, and just make sure we're still making it like a mini community.
Yeah, the utilization of having the live stream Masses was definitely really nice. But we also found ourselves like doing extra prayer, doing more outside of the sacraments to enrich our faith life. I know that I've used like the Laudate app to listen to meditations and go over readings a lot more than I used to when I was able to go to Mass.
I try to approach it kind of like a mini Lent too, because we couldn't go in person to Mass. It didn't feel the same, so I tried to use that personal time of social distance to do more reflections and make kind of like mini goals of prayer, just like you would during the time of Lent or Advent. Definitely joy and some relief. It was really nice to do something that felt normal again, and it felt really peaceful to me to be able to go back into the church and just pray in a church and be closer to God, and then receive the sacrament of Holy Communion again. So that was great, and it was one of like the first things that I did that felt normal again, and it was wonderful that could be like incorporated into my faith.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree with being able to feel normal again, especially for me. Putting it mildly, I'm an outgoing person. So like being around people and sharing experiences, sharing the faith is like something that is just like a core part of who I am. So being able to go back in person and just be around people, albeit distanced and not nearly as full as the church normally is, was just a huge like both spiritual and emotional uplift for me to be able to be around people again and receive the sacrament. For me, it was without a doubt like the sense of community and actually being around people, being able to share our faith with other people.
Definitely, again, sense of community and fellowship, but also just not being able to actually physically receive the sacrament of Holy Communion too. Something that was definitely missed. And all the extra meetings and activities that go along with being a part of a community and a church, like the youth groups and the pancake breakfasts and trivia nights. There's so many activities that parishes like St. Julie just had to be cut, and that was super sad. Just the thinking about like how often people get connected through those things.
Yeah, absolutely. You build friendships outside of just like being in a faith community. You have just normal everyday friendships that grow from events like that. The sacraments sustain us. Being able to receive the Eucharist is not just, a nice add-on, but essential to our faith, essential to our communion, literal communion with God. So being able to actually receive the body of Christ is the number one reason why I would strongly urge those who haven't had the opportunity yet to really look into how they might make the trip back to St. Julie's. The second thing I would say is we've said this before, but I mean, you're a nurse, and I don't think I've been in an environment, in a building during this pandemic that, in my opinion, was as safe as St. Julie's. I feel like with the distance, with the ushers, with the check-in, I really
sanitizing.
The sanitizing
Afterwards, and the hand sanitizing stations, and marking off to make sure everybody's distanced from each other, and everyone wears masks, and everybody's really compliant with that. It does feel really safe. It's felt really safe from the first day I went back, which was pretty early on in the pandemic when they opened up.
I truly feel like it's already a very safe environment. There are a lot of very, very intentional and very driven individuals, volunteers that are spearheading the reopening plan, and they're very diligent about distancing, about masking, about all the various protocols that all of us have, endured the last 12 months. So from that aspect, I do think it's quite safe already. But one way I suppose St. Julie's could make parishioners feel a little bit more at ease is a little more communication to parishioners in various formats. There's been communication through bulletins or through Father Tirso or Father Tone announcements during Mass. But if there was another way to communicate with the parish community, what protocols are being taken, what steps are being taken, contact tracing, things like that, that are already being done, but just maybe not as discussed or communicated to the parish community.
I honestly don't have a lot to add because I think they're doing a really good job, and people will just do what they feel comfortable with. But I'm really impressed and super grateful for all the work that's been put in with volunteers and Father Tirso, Father Tone, and all the parish staff and deacons to make it a safe worship place for all the parishioners.
Can't wait to see you guys back at St. Julie's. Once again, my name's Nathan. This is my wife, Jackie. Unfortunately, our 2-year-old is sleeping right now, so you can't see her. But if you come to Mass, you'll definitely hear her.